Well, this was a jaw that I used for something else on the group buy, the ball joints, that I'm not going to do again, so I'm going to repurpose this. So anyway, I have it set up, and I figured, I did some truck brackets yesterday, and then I got things set up. I got the jaws mounted to do the second op, and I thought, I'll just throw some parallels in here and do it on that. The aluminum on the aluminum is going to grab. I'm not doing anything aggressive to cut the pockets in here, but I am going to lay it down flat because of the way I need to cut the pocket. And then when I stand it up, I will reference that same corner, and that should easily get me close enough to be able to modify the holes in the kingpin bushings. So we're going to make the soft jaws, and then I'll give a shot at the bushings. I'm going to walk it down in, get it close, make sure it's where it thinks it's supposed to be, and then go ahead and let it run. I'll keep the rapids down though, because I usually do when it's only a minute of machining. Alright, we're going to try this again because somebody set it up for a 2D pocket instead of a 2D adaptive clearing, and it tried to come in and just all but do a full width slot 5/8 of an inch deep. The cutter came straight in and it stalled the spindle, but it was moving straight this way when it stalled and snapped it off. So I mean, it looked like it picked it up a bit, that kind of thing, maybe nodded the head a bit, but I can't adjust the nod on this machine. See if it fits. Oh, nice. Perfect. Okay, next step. Well, originally when I printed it out, I left it shallow like that, and I was thinking about doing 2 jaws. So then, and this one's pretty tight, but I was going to have 2 jaws, with matching jaws, mirror images, and then that would set down in there, and I was like, man, I don't think I'm going to need a second jaw, so I could, reuse a scrap one because it's not going to get used again for that purpose. And actually, there's enough cup there left that I could still use it for the purpose. So, but when I decided to go with 1 jaw, I thought, that's going to be kind of a pain because trying to set it down in there, that's going to want to fall out. So I decided to make it deeper, so that way I can put them both in, and then I can go in when I go to put the alignment tool, the jig, whatever. That will, there's a little nub under there, if you haven't seen it before. That will get that centered, and I actually have 2 of them, so I can put the other one in, have them both lined up, and then it'll just clamp against whatever jaw is in there. The Sarah jaw is in there, so it's a steel jaw, so I'll just clamp it against that. I think I'll put it right there, basically centered, and then I at least get a partial grip on each side there. And the hole isn't exactly centered, at least not on this one, so it doesn't want to go in that way. I could, it's pretty damn close, I could reprint that with a little extra space, or I could just come in here and shave a little space there, but if it gets to be a big inconvenience, I'll worry about it, but for now I'm not gonna. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to have any reason to try to torque them down. I think just a good bump with the short handle here. Alright, this is only a little .093 cutter, so going to be gentle on it, hopefully. We'll come down and we'll basically make a teardrop shape in here almost. Well, there's just right over here, there's just a little tell of my previous attempt grinding or whatever. But man, I'm really happy with that. There's not enough burr there to worry about, and I think that's a matter of, you know, provided the cutter stays good and sharp. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that inside. Basically, I'm running the curve, you know, putting the hole right in the middle of the curve there, so. And then, just to make sure the inside, there's a burr, if there's a burr, not, basically, I'm trying to get the process down so I can go through and do, you know, the other 40-something sets, which means I have over 80 pair of these to go through, 80 of these to open up. It's going to be tedious, but I think I've got the time down pretty good. The machining is about 3 minutes now. Yeah, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. I've got things figured out better for blowing it off. I need a tool something to help me grab those up out of there, and then I can blow it again, drop another set in, hit start, take it to the Scotch-Brite wheel, hit it with a wire wheel, and then start wrapping them back up, and I'll have to have time to unwrap the next set. So maybe I'll do them in batches of 10. We'll see. But I'm real pleased with how they're coming out. This is the bushing removal tool for the kingpins. The bolt is long like this for alignment. I've talked about that before. And these sleeves, I'm working them on the lathe right now, machining them. I bore them out so they slide on here, clean up the edge so it's nice and square. This will take the bushings out really nice. It'll also install them. And you only need one, okay? But just in case it gets damaged, I go ahead and send this a second one along, because it would be a royal pain to have to deal with, you know, trying to clean up the edge if you got it damaged, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so when I box them up, basically whoops, I'm not going to send all of them. I don't know, I don't remember if I was doing one or two. I got to go up and see how many I still have. That may determine. That's it. Oops. It may still work, but luckily I'll print another one before I do these again. This is the last set I'm going to do this morning anyway, so. Oh well, sheesh. Trying to keep track of too many things. Switch back to tool 1. Okay. Whoa! Damn. Okay, so I let off the jog shuttle, and it kept going down, and I'm just a gnat's ass away from breaking that, shattering that. So I could have hit the E-stop. What you heard me slapping around doing was trying to hit the escape on the keyboard.